Good afternoon, Chekumatomi Tanoya. My English name is Victoria Michelle Baker. My Queen Quinshama name is Balakwia. It comes from my late grandma Margaret, which was married to William Baker. Been married for 39 years. I have 3 children and 3 grandkids, and I'm very happy to be here today. I chose to run for this council term of 2025-29 to be the voice for our people and to work on some safety issues. That's what I'm campaigning today. A lot of our addresses, we're working with overdose in our community. As a previous peacekeeper, I served over 10 years volunteer work. Currently, I'm employed with the Squamish Nation Finance. I'm the main admin support, so I do have a little bit of financial background to bring to the table. Some of my mentors were my late Uncle Lawrence in the language sector and Satchmo Dennis Joseph. A lot of my teachings come from the Longhouse. I belong to the Big House. I live and breathe the culture, and I just wanted to thank everybody today for being here for me. My one goal is to bridge the gaps that we're missing the membership or feeling today that we need to collaborate a little bit more with council. I believe in the 16 chairs coming back. My goal is to really set an example for our next generation for generational planning. I would also like to bring it in a diplomatic way. All the stuff that I want to work on is transparent. I chose integrity, and I'm hoping and praying that I get into council this term. I'm willing to put 2 foot forward, and I'm very happy to be here for this opportunity. Would like to thank the electoral commissioner, staff, and the committee, and I want to thank all our people and all the teachings that come back from our ancestors. I want to thank Chief Ian Campbell for being my mentor, and Satchmo and Roy Natrall for nominating me this term. I hope to see you all on the voting day, and many thank yous to you all. Many hoichkas. Thank you.
Hi, my ancestral name is Stath'loat. My English name is Amy Nahanee-Baker. My parents were the late Gerald, everyone called him Jerry Nahanee. My late mom was Teresa, everyone called her Terry Nahanee. My grandparents, my late grandpa Jim Nahanee, my grandma Frida Nahanee, nee Thorne. She's 98 years old, and she's really important to our family. And that is something that is an issue, a matter that I think needs more time with the elders and the youth. My main purpose, I think, is to just be a voice for the people. Like, if you call me up, I come see you and we have a chat and you tell me what's important to you, because I can't bring forward the matters that are important to you if you don't tell me what those are. And also researching, and I've been doing a lot of research. I was a land policy specialist, and I also worked at Indigenous Services Canada, which was formerly called Indian Affairs. I worked there in a lands department, and I was responsible for doing encumbrance checks for all of the reserves in British Columbia. Other than that, I really just feel like it's time for me to do my best to submit my information. So thank you very much. I hope to get your vote, and if not, no worries. Appreciate it. Haichka.
Hey, this is Paul Natrall here. My grandparents are the late Norman Natrall Sr. and Mildred Natrall. My mother is Irma Seymour, and my father is the late Norman Natrall Jr. I'm from Sxwchalten in North Vancouver, Mission Reserve. I bring to the table about 16 years of experience in business and tourism, creating different partnerships around Turtle Island. I was a chair of a national nonprofit, culinary nonprofit, and just advocate for businesses and people across the country. And I want to convert that to help our nation in any way I can. From talking with a lot of people here in Squamish, up Squamish and North Vancouver, there's a lot of issues, but the top issues are housing and public safety. If you guys are around, come and chat with me. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to tackle, but super excited to have the chance to sit at the table and try tick off some boxes and help out our people in the long run. I got to think about my kids and their kids and your kids and their kids. The list just goes on. And yeah, I'm just here to help out in any way I can. You can follow me on social media, Paul Hollywood on Facebook, or Chef Paul Natrall on Instagram. My number and info is listed on social media as well. Give me a shout, phone call, message, whatever. I'll come and meet you and chat with you. Hands up to all the organizers and everybody showing up. Thank you.
My name's Sxwchalten. My English name is Kevin Rivers. My grandfather and grandmother is late Andy Paul and Josephine Paul. And my late parents are Frank Rivers Sr. and Audrey Rivers. I have a legacy of family members being on council. My dad was on council, my grandfather was, my dad, my brother, my uncle, and just recently my two kids for 8 years. So, if elected, I really want to strive to help council make better decisions. I look forward to the challenge. Campaigning for this last month or so, I've really discovered what needs and wants in our community. Safety is on my top of my list. Off-reserve concerns are there for me to think about. I mean, we have over 4,000 band members, and half of them live off-reserve, especially for our elders too. I've been on 6 committees for the last 4 years, and those committees really taught me the needs and wants of our community also. I love my people. From the get-go, I love my people. I've been catering to our community for almost 40 years now. I have an archaeology background also of 35 years, so history is very important to me also. It's needs to be handed down. Needs to be handed down to the next generations. But I thank you for your time today.
Hobsnobs. Good afternoon. My name is Hart Schorneck, Queen of Sna. I come from the Jacobs family. My grandfather was Alfred Jacob, Cockleton CM, and my grandmother was Lena Jacobs, Stath'loat knee band. My father was the late Hart Schorneck Sr., and my mother is Stath'loat knee Jacobs. I come from a line of hereditary chiefs, starting with Squamish Jacob, who was born approximately 1850. My uncle, Gibby Jacob, Cockleton CM, is our chief right now and served for over 30 years on Squamish Nation Council. I believe that giving back to the community, playing our part, working together, and helping our nation succeed and prosper is very important. My platform is to be held accountable to the people, transparent, streamline staffing levels, and construct an elders' care home. I know this has been talked about for 40, 50 years, but now it's time to be done. Housing is also a top priority on my list. Why do people have to pay for their mortgage now? And where did the housing list go to? Cultural teachings are also important to me. Lastly, my daughters and I have submitted a DB resolution, and it's going to be $1,700 per year, and this is only 2.2% of our nation's total revenues. Chen Quen Mantomi, I thank you very much. All my relations. Sxwchalten, my heart as well. Christomas Amen. Hojka.
My name is Nicholas Seschillie, and I want to begin with my family, great-grandmother Emily Isaac, and my grandfather Henry George from Sxwchalten Mission Reserve. From Emily and Henry George, they came another large family of Agnes, Florence, Felix, Simon, Edna, Gertrude, Lucy, Ernest, and Margaret. From this line, from Agnes George married George Jordan. Together they raised my parents, Valerie, Richard, Shirley, Michael, Sharon, Tim, Carl, and Judy. And then from my parents, Valerie Jordan, she had several children, and my family is Sean, Jason, Desi, myself, David, Julie, Melissa, and Cody. One acknowledgement would be Linda George. She's my first cousin from Margaret George Locke. And Linda George had Gerald, Christine, Jolisa, and Matthew for our cousin. For my background and education experience, I have heavily educated in technology. I'm hoping to bring technology to the table for Squamish Nation, and I'm hoping to update the technology in the Squamish Nation to see if we can get at least not ahead of the curve, but at least up to date with all the technology in the Squamish Nation. I did some of the policies that I want to focus on would be housing, security, community operations, and a lot more other. And I'm hoping that will bring enough to Squamish Nation. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Grant Shaver. I go by Salish Grant. The reason why I'm coming for council is I want to make sure that I can help all members who live off reserve and on reserve, as well as other regions of the Coast Salish territories of the Squamish Nation. My initiative is I want to make sure that we look after our elders. The elders are the most important people in our community, as well as our youth. The youth need to have mentorship from our elders to ensure that they prosper and have a long life. I want to initiate the programs that we have here on with the federal government, with initiative programs that we have for the nation, and I want to ensure that those are properly administrated. We have to look at the issues that we have today on our nation's land. We have to look at our housing situations, our elders, our youth programs, and our administration. We also have a bigger picture that we need to look at with Bill C-5 coming through with the federal government. We need to be ready and to be active in looking at the initiatives that the federal government wants to do with infrastructure. So we need to support our members in the Squamish Valley with the LNG pipeline projects, as well as initiatives through transit and other projects that the federal government want to initiate. So I like to be a strong voice for the nation. I have experience and background working for the federal government, and I also work with world leaders, politicians, economic development people, because I work for the four major sports organizations here in the Lower Mainland. So I actively interact with these people on a regular basis. So I feel I have the strengths that can work with people. I'm a people person. I have no initiatives but to help the people of the nation. So please vote for me. My name is Salish Grant Shaver. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to meeting more members in the community on a regular basis.
Hart Schorneck, Jenna vocal Queensna, Tanachantla Hamilton Okamil on Winoxton Squalwin. Hi everyone, my name is Jenna Vocal. I am a proud Squamish woman. I grew up on the Capilano Reserve. My families that I come from are the Schorneck, Jacobs, Williams, and Lewis families. I'm running for council because I believe we need to have more inclusion and transparency from our council to our community members. The platforms that I'm running that I would like to change would be our housing, elders, and youth and families. We need more diverse housing options. I support us having rent-to-own options, and we need to acquire more land for our housing. I support the development of Elders Lodge and more supportive programs for our elders to keep them home with us on our land in our traditional ways. I feel like we need to have more inclusion and opportunities for our community members with either internships or shadowing for job opportunities. For youth, I would like us to have more programs, and with Chief Joe Mathias, Ayaz Maman, and Ayaz Lam. I know I'm young for one of our councillors, but I feel like our younger generation needs to have a bigger voice within our community. If elected, I would make it a priority to be within community and at events. Hoichuk, thank you.
Sxwchalia Quishaman Sna. My ancestral name is Sxwaliya. I'm also known as Ann Whonnock, and that will be the first name when voting time comes, Ann Whonnock Sxwchalia. I'm from the Charlie family. My mom was Barbara Charlie. My grandparents were Dominic and Josephine Charlie. She's from the Antone family, and my great-grandfather was Shinaltsut, Jericho Charlie, and my great-grandmother was Quaywat Sally, and his father was Sxwchalten. I've been on council previously, and I will continue to represent and do the best that I can in the work that has to be done to protect Sxwchalten, Okemewk, Squamish Nation, Aboriginal rights and title. And one of the main things I am hoping to be able to do is be able to transfer knowledge of our history, not only cultural, also our business and corporate information, and be able to mentor young people and encourage them to be able to be the leaders of the future, because we need more young people getting that education and careers and being able to come back and represent the nation. And one of my biggest passions has always been to be able to encourage people to get that education like our old people did, as well as to learn your culture, language, and know the territory, so that you're connected to all your families and the land. Tuma Kwetsi Snachum, those are my words.
Sxwchalten. My name is Amanda Williams, Sxwchalten Queensna, and I'm a candidate for the Squamish Council band elections in 2025. My late parents were Chief Dick Williams and Maureen Underwood. My grandparents are Mavis Lewis and Chief Teddy Williams, and George Underwood and Geraldine Thorne. My siblings are Ellen and Dickie Williams. We're born and raised in Capilano. We were raised to know who we are and where we come from. My platform is a call to stewardship, focused on protecting our lands, water, and rights. I want to honor my late father's legacy by working together, making informed decisions, and keeping the best interests of the tribe as a whole. I want to honor our past and continue to shape the future. My great-great-grandfather, Edward Williams, signed the amalgamation. One of the other things I want to focus on is public safety and honoring the legacy of our sports here in Squamish, the North Shore Indians, canoeing, soccer, softball, and create spaces for those recreation activities to thrive. You'll be able to see my pamphlets and signs in the community. Please get out and meet the candidates, get informed, and get out and vote. You can vote online or in person on September 28th. Thank you.
Hart Schorneck, Jonny Williams, Tana Chen Tla, Yaquapsum, Sxwchalten Michels, Onwanasan Squalwin, Chenquoman Tomaya. Hello, my name is Jonny Williams. I come from Yaquapsum Reservation. I'm a Sxwchaltenish person. In my heart, I believe I'm a respectful person, and I'm grateful to everyone in the nation. I am from the Williams and Lewis family. I was raised by my mother, Charlene Williams, and Dalmar Joseph. I'm running for council because my family has raised me as a community kid. And what that means is I was raised by a variety of different people to help me become a spokesperson or the person who speaks for my family. My priorities for running for council will be making sure our elders are well taken care of and supported, making sure that moving forward we're always thinking 7 generations ahead, specifically for the environment, and holding more accountability for the councillors. And I would also like to see the departments have more benchmarking done to see how well they are actually providing services to the people. I want to have a better idea of how much each person in the nation gets the support they needed, and I want to make sure that everyone is supported in the way that they needed and an adequate time.
Good afternoon. Kemok, also known as Darren Baker. I'm running for council for change in our public safety and our community health and wellness. Through this change, I will bring appropriate communication between the North Van RCMP, West Vancouver PD, Integrated First Nations Unit, and our public safety team. With this change, I would expect clarification and better communication between all departments. I'll bring honesty, integrity, and an open door policy. In closing, I'd like to thank you for this time, and please get out and vote for change in our future. Thank you.
My name is Anthony Johnston. Everybody knows me as Tony. I was born and raised here on the Capilano Reserve, lived in the condos for a little while, and came back down to the Capilano Reserve as a teenager. My mother is Jennifer Johnston. My grandparents were the late Laura Johnston and the late Jimmy Johnston. My siblings, the DJ Osho is my baby sister. My other sister is Gina Johnston Hall, who runs the HR department. And I'm here for community safety, also for fair housing. I would also like to see our community be a little bit more close and close-knit the way it used to be when I was young, being able to go down, talk to people on the road, know everybody, and know that you wouldn't have any problems going down the road. Nowadays, it's a little bit tougher. I am running for council, and thank you very much for listening to what I have to say, and hopefully you vote for me, and maybe I'll be your voice. Thank you.
Sxwchalten, Crystal Queen Sna, Crystal Queen Anatme, Help Queen Kashaman, foster parents, Bruce Ogilvy, Elaine Moody, Quenas Touch, late Elizabeth Lewis, Sven Marcia, biological parents, Quenas Touch, Tanachin Flaw, Owanti Ochmil, Wathchinwemo Atiti Homolchiston Ochmil, Squamish Stomach, Chinqualnate to Creator, Chinqualnate to Squalwin, Ailston Squatos. My name is Crystal Lewis. I grew up in the Squamish Valley. However, my biological parents come from Homolchiston Ochmil. And I'm really grateful to be here at the candidates meeting today. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for all your support thus far. So you may know me from a couple elections back. I ran when I was 19 and 24 with my dear cousin Taylor George Hollis as a candidate for Squamish Nation Council. This is my 3rd time running. My current platform focuses on transparency and accountability, but also focusing on, well, what I really stand for is that, we're all part part of the solution. We're all a piece of the puzzle. It's not just up to council to come up with the solutions, but engaging our community members and creating those solutions together, collectively. And after listening to a lot of our wonderful community members and speaking to them about their concerns and building a thematic analysis on what are the overhead concerns, what are the repeating patterns of these concerns, and what are the solutions that they bring forward, whether that's having cameras on reserve, talking about safe housing, etc. These were all solutions that came from the community, and that's the way it should be. Sxwchalten Totem, Sxwchalten Creator, I follow my heart, I follow the Creator, Sxwchalten Squamish.